a lot of times we expect our external and outside environments and interactions to make us happy and to make us joyful. But the reality is that in order to be in joy, you have to decide that you want to be in joy. Hi guys, welcome back to this channel. I'm Darian, and today we're going to be talking about walking in joy, the state of actually being in joy throughout life. Happiness and joy, I hear used interchangeably all the time, but I do believe that there is a difference. To be in joy is to actually be in a state. Happiness can easily change based off of your circumstances. So someone just gave you a gift, you're more than likely going to be happy in that moment, but after a few hours or after the gift has worn off, you might find yourself back to where you originally were. But to walk in joy is to be in a state of joy. So let's go ahead and jump into some practical and spiritual ways that you can live in joy, walk in joy, and have a life of joy. First, I want to start out by saying that joy is a choice. Joy is a choice. A lot of times we expect our external and outside environments and interactions to make us happy and to make us joyful. But the reality is that in order to be in joy, you have to decide that you want to be in joy. So that means you're going to have accountability in your life. That means you're going to have to be like, okay, this may have happened in my life, but I'm choosing that I'm not going to let it keep me down. I'm choosing that I'm not going to let what happened in my life, take over me and make me remain in a negative place. I feel like most people truly want to be in joy, but let's be real. Life sometimes really can be life. And sometimes in life, there are some really hard things that we have to walk through and fight through. And that can be challenging to continue to stay in joy when those things are happening. But I do believe that it is possible. So the first point that I want to speak on is that you are going to have to protect your peace and protect your environment in order to maintain a state of joy. So as people, sometimes we can be quick to let people in. We want friends. We want to have people around us. If you are somebody who has not yet become secure in yourself, you more than likely are more willing to allow a lot of people in your life that may or may not be good for you. In that case, it can be easy to bring people in your life who may not necessarily have the best intent for you. And in that case, that can easily be a source in your life where joy can be stifled or where joy can be taken away. And a lot of times the way life can work is that we don't always realize what's happening until it's done, or we're not always able to see the bigger picture because we're walking through it until something happens, or now you're able to take time to rest and look back on the situation. So the people that you have in your life, I've said this in other videos, and I truly believe this can make you or break you. So you're gonna have to be intentional about the people that you keep in your life. If you have people around you that's constantly complaining, constantly negative, don't have any good things going on in their life, everything is just always a drab, and they come around you, and every time they're around you, it's the same thing. It's constant negativity. It's going to be pretty hard to stay in a place of joy. Some people are extremely sensitive to the energy that other people carry. So have you ever been just having a great time, minding your business, and life is just going good, and all of a sudden someone calls you, or they come over and their energy is so heavy and dark and not good, and now all of a sudden you've picked up that energy? So who you have around you can affect your state of joy. Yes, we all go through our different seasons, and yes, there are times where you may have to be that friend in somebody else's life while they're not in a good space, but you have to be able to know, is this a person's nature, or is this just a moment that they're having in a space where they may be a little more negative or pessimistic? But if this is just them and this is somebody that you're going to have in continued communication, you want to be mindful that that can for sure affect you being able to walk in joy and you being able to have a good time in your life. So that goes back to being intentional and having accountability. So whoever you allow in your life, even though you may not speak it, your actions will say that you are allowing their behavior to be in your life also. And whatever consequences come from that, that in a way is saying that you receive whatever comes from that. So when I started to be intentional about the people around me and the relationships around me, and when things just get heavy and too much and I feel like I'm carrying burdens that were never meant for me to carry, and I release those, I find that the load is lighter and I feel better and I'm able to just be refreshed. If someone leaves your life and you feel refreshed, more than likely they probably were not supposed to be in your life. Okay, so let's move into the next thing I want to speak about regarding your environment. So I truly do believe that our physical environment has an impact on our happiness. I do believe that there are some things that you can do in your immediate environment that can help you to feel more in joy and have more experiences of joy. So for me, I'm one of these people that I love the atmosphere around me to give off that feeling that makes me feel at peace and have joy. I love having the environment around me to visually show what makes me happy, to visually have light in it. When I feel like a space has light for me, it makes me feel better. It makes me have peace and joy, and it just makes me happy to be in that space. So if you're surrounding spaces where you have to see every day, whether it's your office, home, or these different places don't reflect a scenery that you would necessarily like, it can have a drag on you. So for me, I like to have my space where I live and where I work to look in a way that makes me feel happy, to look in a way that makes me feel at peace, to look in a way that makes me feel like I'm happy to spend time here and be around here. If you find yourself not happy in a place and you feel that it's right for you to move, that's something that I definitely feel like can affect your state of being in a positive way. And I feel like when you continue to do things that are affecting your state of being in a positive way, even with the environment around you, I feel like that can have a great impact on you being able to walk in joy. If you don't feel like you're at a place where you're able to financially move or change your atmosphere and surroundings, see if you can find little things to change around. If you're in a place that will allow you to paint, see if that will help you to feel better or brighten up your atmosphere. If you're in a place where they won't allow you to paint, but you can add a little decor or something that makes you feel happier and brighten your mood, maybe see if you can go to some stores that offer decor that's affordable, that you can just change up the space, or put some things that are fun for you in those spaces, that you can take your mind off of whatever the environment or atmosphere is, and have those moments where you just get away, play a game or something like that. And if this is like a workspace, of course you have to abide by the rules and find out what is okay for you to do there. But see if there are some things that your boss or whomever is over you will allow you to do. I know some people at their cubicle, they decorate their cubicle and things like that. If you know you're in an atmosphere that you feel like is draining your energy or kind of like pulling you down, look and see if there are some things that you can change around to make things feel a little bit lighter and happier and make you feel a little bit more free. Okay, time to move into the next point that I have that I believe can be a factor that can help you to walk in joy and experience more joy in your life, and that is to seek out your purpose And once you find your purpose, continue to do those things aligned with your purpose. A lot of times I feel like people are out here just doing things because it's going to make them a certain amount of money. And I've been there, so I'm not here to judge you or make you feel bad. It looks good. This is the thing that everybody does. This is what we've been raised to believe that we're supposed to do. Whatever it may be, we've all been influenced in some way in our lives to get to the path where we are at now. And I used to be at a place where I was not necessarily fulfilled in everything that I was doing. I was doing something that I felt was good for me. I was doing something that I thought was my purpose, but I didn't really know if it was truly my purpose. And then when I actually found my purpose, everything just clicked for me. I started to notice that I was happier because that fulfillment was inside of me, and I started to experience joy at a greater level. Once you know that you are operating in what you are supposed to be doing in your life, I truly do believe that it changes things for you. It gives you a sense of vision that you may not have had before. When we're walking through life and we're kind of just aimlessly going where we're going, it can seem like an unending journey where you just feel lost and you just keep getting up and doing whatever may feel good for the moment and going with the wind. For some people that may have worked, but for the majority of people, that usually doesn't work. You have to be intentional also about seeking your purpose, finding your purpose, and walking out your purpose. And finding your purpose does not necessarily mean that your life is just going to be at all ease. To be honest, once you start walking in your purpose and you find your purpose, it may actually cause some spiritual warfare to start happening. You may feel like you have some resistance. So it may actually not even make sense that this is your purpose, because you may actually feel that you're being fought in the very thing that you feel that is meant for you. But when it comes to fulfillment, that fulfillment should still be there. If it is a purpose thing, if it is truly something that you feel like is for you, no matter whatever warfare you may feel like you're going through, there's still going to be something inside of you saying, I'm supposed to be doing this. I know I'm supposed to be doing this. I have to do this because I know that this is destined for me. You may be working where you're working because you feel like this is what you're supposed to be doing, but you kind of may still feel lost, or you may actually just be doing what you're doing because it pays the bills and that's just what you know to do right now. That's what you can afford to do right now. That is your life and that is up to you. And honestly, it's okay. There are some times where we have to figure it out at the right time for us. So I'm not here to tell you what to do for your life, but I do believe that it is worth seeking out what your true purpose is, or even seeing if what you're doing right now is your true purpose. And when you feel that the time is right for you to make whatever moves, whether it's to stay where you are or to move on somewhere else and pursue whatever you feel like your purpose is, then I believe you'll know that at the right time. But I personally believe that whatever we're doing in our lives, especially for something like work that's going to take up a lot of time in our lives, I do believe that it should be something that is fulfilling to each person. And again, I want to remind you that we go through seasons in life. So even though joy is something to be intentional about, you may not always be in a place where you feel joyous, or you may not always be in a place where you feel happy or good in life. And that goes back to the intentionality that you have to have regarding joy. But let's move into number 3, which is, I feel like, really important when it comes to walking out joy in our lives, because there's so many things that can affect us in the external world and in our life on an everyday basis. And that is to monitor your gates. And when I say gates, I mean your eye gates, your ear gates, and even your mouth. Okay? Even your mouth. So think about it like this. When you go and watch something or listen to something, and let's say you were having a great day, all of a sudden a sad song is playing or a sad movie is playing, and after that is over with, now you're sad. Now you're down. Now you don't feel as joyous as you may have felt. And I'm not saying you can't watch things or listen to things. It is your life, so you decide what works for your life, and you have to make decisions for your own life. But what I'm saying is, if you want to live an intentionally joyous life, you are going to have to monitor how much of certain things you are watching. So the more negative and dark and, sad and fear-based things that you watch and take in, you're more than likely going to start to be in that state or that place. Or the more joyous or happier and positive things that you focus on and watch and listen to, you're more than likely going to start to be in that space in life. When we spend a lot of time on certain things, we start to pick up those things and those habits. Even people, when you are continuously around certain people, you may start to pick up certain things, whether it's from their attitude, from the things they say, the things they do, and vice versa. So you have to really be careful with what you're surrounding yourself around and what you are allowing to speak to you and speak into you. And then now I want to talk about your own mouth. You want to make sure that you're speaking positively about your life. I truly do believe that death and life is in the power of the tongue. So what you continue to speak about your life, I do believe that that is where your life will start to head. If what we listen to has power to influence us and move us, I absolutely believe that what we speak about ourselves also has power to influence us and our thinking about life and how we feel about ourselves. So to stay in a good state of joy, I definitely would say it is good to speak good into yourself. It is good to speak good even to the environment and the things around you. And for some people, this may seem like, yeah, I don't really know about that. I don't really know if it's going to work. But I feel like if you start to make it an exercise and give it some time, maybe you will begin to see life from a new, fresh perspective once you continue to speak positively and surround yourself around where positive things, positive people, and just positive things just consistently flowing into your different gates. Sometimes people can creep in and their intentions may seem good, but time usually tells the genuineness of what a person is in your life for. Okay, you guys, lastly, I'm going to jump into the spiritual aspect and supernaturally how you can experience a life of joy. Now, if you have the Holy Spirit within you, then you should be operating in joy. You have the ability to supernaturally experience joy. Joy is a fruit of the Spirit. So if the Holy Spirit dwells within you, you should bear the fruit of the Holy Spirit. And joy is one of those things. There have been times where I have just been, and not in the best circumstances and not in the best times of my life, but I've just been overflowing in joy. Even when sadness wanted to overtake me, just joy is flowing from me. And I know that it's not just strictly from me being me. Again, we're human. We feel down at times. We don't always feel good. We have questions about our lives. We're in different circumstances. And you never know how life can go. And in those moments, it can be really hard for us to press through and be in joy by our natural selves. So God can supernaturally give you that joy, but you still want to be intentional about doing those practical things, and you still want to be intentional about doing what you can do so that you can remain in a state of joy. There are some people you can look at them and it's just like they're radiating joy. It's just like they're walking in this great joy. And to some people it may look like, what is going on? Are you in the same world that we're in? But it is a gift to be able to carry a great level of joy throughout life and bless other people to experience joy just from being around you, just from talking to you, just from smiling at you. So you can be a person who is carrying and just walking from a spirit of joy. And again, I want to point this out, that it does not mean that you'll never go through anything and never feel down, but overall, you will find that you are operating from that place, or that even if you are down and have been down for a little while, you find yourself back to that place. And also, if you're a spiritual person and you believe in taking care of your spiritual life, you can absolutely pray for joy or ask God to reveal those areas in your life that are keeping you from walking out joy, that are keeping you from experiencing that joy that you want to have in your life. Who is connected to you that is actually draining you and not allowing you to walk in joy? What are you doing that is not tied to your purpose, that's actually weighing you down and keeping you from walking in fulfillment, which can then allow you to experience a great level of joy? What things are you watching and continuing to allow inside of your gates that may be drawing at that place of joy from the inside? So all right, you guys, so that is the end of this video. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. I hope you have a great day, and thanks for tuning in. Bye.